Hello, thank you for checking out our videos here on YouTube. My name is Alexis Austin and I'm the founder of Right Law Group PC here in Colorado Springs. Today I wanted to give you a little bit of background on my history coming up through the law, what I've done, and why I've gotten to this point. A lot of my clients ask, well, what's your background, why should I come to you, and what should I expect? So I'd like to address a few of those things here today. I started off at the University of Memphis. I double majored in psychology and philosophy. It's one of those things, where you get a degree accidentally. I kind of got my second major accidentally because I was really interested in the juxtaposition between the way I was raised. I was raised in a very, very religious background, and so I was researching and looking into kind of why I thought the way I did, and I just kept going and getting philosophy classes until one of my supervisors said, hey, maybe you should just double major because you already have enough. So I had those two in place. And I really wanted to do something where I could fight for the rights of people and really make a difference in the world. So I was looking at either doing cognitive psychology or law. I took the LSATs and realized, hey, my score was good enough to get into law schools around the country, so I applied to a couple different places. And finally I landed here in Denver just because there's 300 plus days of sunshine. Who wouldn't love this place? It's much better than when I went to Boston and it was monsoon season. So I came out here to Denver and I started getting really involved in the law school program, and I found that what I really enjoyed most was being, shockingly, in front of an audience, performing, getting my story out there and speaking to people and trying to reach out and help people as much as I can, not by sitting behind a desk and hiding, but by getting out there and fighting for what I believed in. I did that for a while. I actually interned with the 18th Judicial District Attorney's Office, and I made my own little niche there. I was a Special Victims Unit intern, so I worked on cases where there were child deaths, sexual assault, and more of those really difficult cases, and that's what I did for about 2 years up there. I then worked for a medical malpractice firm where we represented plaintiffs who had been injured in some way. A lot of our plaintiffs were just catastrophically injured. We had anywhere from, the car accidents that are just a freak of nature to a 12-year-old being left a paraplegic from an unnecessary surgery. So that really fueled my passion in getting involved in cases where people really needed help. I thought for a long time that I was going to be a lifer DA, and my friends and family will tell you they were kind of shocked when I came over here because I then went to the Pueblo District Attorney's Office. I worked for Jeff Chostner for a couple of years. I moved up through the ranks to the point where I was supervising homicide investigations. The most recent one that I did when I was out there was one where this guy had been stabbed like 72 times, and I went and helped the police investigate the scene, supervise the warrants and all that. So I really worked with the police, kind of telling them how to do their job, not in a mean way, but coaching them along. And I learned the ins and outs of how the district attorney's office really works closely with the police department while I was in Pueblo. And it's been really enlightening being on this side, dealing with everything, and being able to give my clients an inside look as to, hey, this is what the TV says that police do, and this is what actually happens. Sometimes you'd be shocked at how much they actually overlap. Sometimes there's nothing about TV that's real, shockingly. So I worked down in Pueblo, and I was working down there. I actually did quite a bit of domestic violence research. I was certified in domestic violence prosecution from a number of different organizations. I helped them get their domestic violence project up and running, so I really dug my heels in there and got as much experience as I could doing domestic violence prosecution. I then came up here to the district attorney's office in Colorado Springs. I worked here for about a year. And it's a very different feel than in Pueblo. You don't have that sense of community that you have in Pueblo where everyone knows everyone, because Pueblo's a much smaller town. But I got to get to know everyone here and get to know the prosecutors and the judges and the legal community in general. I never believed in the idea that people could repress memories. I didn't think that was a huge thing, but it came out that I actually was a sexual assault victim, and I'd been sexually assaulted as a child, and that all came to surface when I was a DA. And it kind of rocks your world a little bit when that happens. And so that whole process, and then what happened with my experience with the district attorney's office, led me to look for something a little bit different. Norm Tom actually invited me to come join his practice at the Liberty Law Center, so I did that in 2017 and joined Steve Katzman as a partner there, and really got to learn what it was like on the other side, helping people who had criminal charges against them, but who were really just good people. all the clients that I got to know, they came in and there was so much more going on to their story than district attorneys are ever taught to see. So I really got to work on that and get to help people with my knowledge as a district attorney, but support them in the way that I could do only as a defense attorney. I was there for about a year, and doing everything with that law firm made me kind of see how I would like to be and how I'd like to run my own practice. And I decided to open the Right Law Group here in the Springs in June of 2018 so that I could combine my two passions in life, helping people and doing what I want to do on my own and going for it. What I mean by that is I'm not your typical defense attorney. I'm not going to sit here and wear the pinstripe suit, go into court. I have my tattoos. They're visible. You can see them. I'm not going to fight the man and say that everyone's wrong. I try to see everyone as a human being. Whether you're on the defense side, the prosecution side, law enforcement, I try to see everyone as people. And there are good people and there are bad people. And there are good people in the DA's office. There are good people in law enforcement. There are good people on my side. And there are bad people. And the fact of the matter is that's just life. And so what I do is I come in and I talk to the people, any people involved, and I really try to open this line of communication between all sides and bring it back to what it's supposed to be. The reason that I do what I do as a lawyer is I fight for justice. I can be on either side. I don't care. The point of the matter is when you're fighting for justice, there is one thing that's right. Doing the right thing and getting the right result for people. And that's what I do no matter where I am. So with my clients who come to me, I tell them, I never promise you anything except what I can guarantee. So I'm not going to promise you, hey, you have a great case, I'm going to get this dismissed, we're going to rock this, and it's going to be amazing. Now, even if I think that, I'm not going to promise you that because I try to do everything the right way, and in my mind, the right way is coming through on what I promise you. So if I promise you something's going to happen, it's going to happen. A lot of the times I'll tell my clients, and you can actually look on some of our Google reviews, I'll tell my clients, hey, I can't promise you this is what I'd like to see, and this is what I'm going to fight for, but these are the things I can guarantee, because I believe it's very important to be open and transparent. So when you come to meet with me, I just sit you down, we look over your case, we talk about it, and I tell you what we can get, what we absolutely can get, and then what we would like to see, and I fight for you in that way. And I think it's really effective. I find it much more effective to open the lines of communication. Now, obviously, I'm never going to have you talk to anybody because it's your right to remain silent, and there's no way I'm making my clients talk to the district attorney ever, unless that's something they choose to do. But I try to open the lines of communication between my clients and the criminal justice system, because so often people are lost, and they're lost in the system, their story isn't heard, and my job is to really tell their story. For my clients, I stand up for them, I fight my butt off for them, and I make sure that their story is heard, because that's what I'm about. Here at the Right Law Group, I take on any case that I feel passionately about. It's going to be the right thing that we're doing. We're going to move forward. And we're not going to take cases that are, for lack of a better word, wrong. If you come before me and you are messing around, you're telling me lies, you're not being straight with me, I'm not going to take you on. Because my job is to work as hard as I possibly can for my clients, fight for them in every single way I can, and if you're going to waste my time, I'm not going to waste your time. Alternatively, if you come in and you lay this stuff out before me and you say, hey, this is what I've got going on, this is what I need help with, can you help me? I will bend over backwards and do everything I can to help you out. Based on my background, I do tell clients I don't take sex assault cases just because I don't believe it's fair, even if someone has been wrongly accused, and I've had a couple clients come to me where I do believe they have been wrongly accused. I'll tell them my background and say I don't think it's fair for me to do that for you, just because I think you need someone who doesn't have those issues. But then I refer them to a couple friends of mine here in town who really do a great job on their cases and help them out. If you have any questions about my background, any questions about my approach to the law, or just life in general, I'm happy to sit down with you. Give me a call sometime. You can reach us anytime at 719-822-6227, or you can look us up at rightlawgroup.com, and we'll be happy to talk to you and help you out if we can.